Imagine you step out one morning, looking and feeling radiant. As you go about your daily activities, at some point, you turn around or bump into someone and you find yourself looking up into his eyes. Butterflies you thought long dead rise up in your stomach and begin to flutter around your stomach. You are thrilled when you exchange numbers, and as the time passes, the both of you get closer over a cup of coffee, movie shows, or even dinners, the numbers of which you've lost count. A little more time passes and you're positive that this is the person whom you want to be with. You're in love and you can't wait to be asked the big question. See, most times the idea of marriage sounds enchanting. You found the one you love, or you're found by the one you love. And even though a few misunderstandings happens along the way, your time with each other has been simply beautiful. You're in love, the two of you watch movies together, and when you see lovers get married and move in together, it is lovely. It spurs your fantasies on to a point where you get anxious about the day that the two of you stand before God and man to say those beautiful words, I do. You even want to write your vows now. Then you go on your honeymoon and you sleep and wake up with seeing this face, the face of the one you love every day. Oh, plus sex becomes legal. A few years down the line, children come in, and the story goes on and on. You hear the stories of people who get married and rush out after varying periods of time. Some get to a couple of years, while others, it could be just as little as 2 weeks. True story. And you have most likely heard words that say marriage is not a bed of roses. But it could be beautiful. In fact, it was intended to be so when God made it. But however, it is many ways more than the fantasy of it you have created. Especially since the world went wrong with sin. Aside from all the excitement of shopping for wedding gowns and jewelries and finding venues and taking photographs, marriage is more. It is often said that you know whether you're truly in love with someone from the moment you move in and the both of you begin to live together. It is during this moment that you begin to notice some of the smaller things that seem insignificant. Like from what point one presses a toothpaste, or something easy as putting party. Divorces happen as a result of such seemingly small things. Marriage is not easy. Not as easy as it is made to look on television shows and on the movies. It is not as easy as saying the words I do. It is so much more than that. One simple question you should be asking yourself first is, if you're really ready to settle down with someone, either him or her. The great importance to note is that I am the light of God's design. There should be no contingency plan for either of you. According to Google, about 50% of marriages end in divorce. That's quite a scary statistic. You should be prepared to stay together and make it work, both during bad times and good as well. No thoughts of divorce should be on your mind regardless of what you may find about him or her as the years unfold. To get to this end, it is necessary that the person you're with is someone who fears and honors God. This way you can both make the Lord a part of the relationship, and He would carry you both, even during the stormy seasons, even during the stormy seas and the bumpy rides. It is also going to take work on your own side, but it is something that can easily be done when you make that decision for you. Divorce is never going to be an option. When a decision is reached, emotions follow to spur you up towards greater good. We do know that God is the establishment of love, and every relationship born out of love, including marriage. Bible says, He replied, have you never read that He who created them from the beginning made them male and female, and said, for this reason a man shall leave his father and mother and shall be joined inseparably to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. And so they are no longer two, but one flesh. And therefore what God has joined together, let no one separate. It has been established that marriage is not easy, but it is beautiful when it is done with Him as the bedrock of the relationship. And it is why if He is not part of your relationship at the moment, trouble is on the way. You will also have to make the habit of forgiveness a part of you. It does come with a promise. For if you forgive others their trespasses, the reckless and willful sins, your Heavenly Father will also forgive you. The world is a place filled with imperfect people, and mistakes are made accidentally or even intentionally in some cases. Then Peter came to him and asked, "Lord, how many times will my brother sin against me and I forgive him and let it go? Up to 7 times?" And Jesus answered, "I say to you, not 7 times, but 70 times 7. And this will become a practical reality for you on a daily basis. Forgiveness is a trait that has to become one with you for you to keep your sanity and retain your joy. This brings up in close quarters the issue of tolerance. And if you've had the privilege of having siblings, then you will understand that it's not easy, either tolerance or forgiveness itself, but this is something that plays a prominent role if and when you decide to get married. Imagine a couple who got tired of staying home together, especially through the period of the coronavirus lockdowns. Beyond going to bed and waking up to see the same face, they have to spend 24 hours every day together, and they start noticing things about each other which they didn't realize before. Faithfulness and loyalty are always attitudes that are in themselves not an easy one. You'll go out each day and meet seemingly better people than your spouse. And on some days, you will even wonder in a fleeting thought, what made you remain with your spouse? You will have to keep your vows and become accountable to each other and to God. You will, however, find that all of these things that make marriage not easy become easier when God is the one who is both author and finisher, author and guide for you and your marriage. And as you go through the process, you will come to a place where you have been strengthened through the experiences. To love is a choice you will both have to make daily. To love is a choice you will have to make on a daily basis. For now, though, knowing that marriage is not so easy, ask yourself, are you ready to settle down with someone?